Welcome back to another episode in our 31 in 31 series. It's a month of conversations with Proverbs 31 women. Today's guest is a woman whose life of service in faith is reflected through many projects that she's involved in, but one particular project that you may have seen around your town, the Little Free Library. These small wooden boxes of free books are not just about reading. They're about community, generosity, and hope. Our guest today, Lana Wood, has helped lead the effort in her local community alongside other volunteers to make sure that neighbors and community members have access to books and a reminder of God's provision through sharing. She is truly living out the call to open her hands to others. Let's dive in to Lana's story and the story of the Little Free Library Network and organization. It's a story of faith, of community, and the power that a simple book can connect lives. Join me on the inside now as we spend the afternoon speaking with Lana. Welcome, Lana. Thanks so much for being part of this 31 in 31 podcast series this month, where each day for October, we're talking to women who are involved in things in their communities, in their homes, their workplaces, that exemplify the values and the virtues in the Proverbs 31 scripture. And you are involved in a community project called the Little Library Project. Yes. Can you share with us a little bit about your connection to that project?
Certainly. Our book club is called Beyond the Book Book Club.
Beyond the Book.
Yes. And it's a diverse group of women. We have a club of anywhere from 10 to 15 people, depending on people's activities and whether they can participate or not.
Mm-hmm.
And it does rotate. We've been doing this since before COVID, about the time of COVID.
Okay.
We started the Little Free Libraries. And it came about because I grew up reading all my life. You may remember what we call the bookmobile.
Yeah.
My grandmother, we lived down at Lenox, and she had a house there on the corner, and she had a library in her house. The bookmobile would come once a month, every so often back then,
Mm-hmm.
and it would park outside her house, and all the people from the community would go pick out the books they wanted, and then she would also stock extra books so that they can be changed out during the month. So she always had a library in her foyer upstairs in her house. And we loved that little library, and we would go up there and we sort the book and we played librarian and all the things that go with it. So that's where the love of reading came from.
Okay.
And my niece Jamie is also in the book club, and we were talking about it, and you begin to see the Little Free Libraries all around different communities. And I brought it to our club and said, hey, we should do this and put one in a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one we did, we put here in our neighborhood at the farms during COVID. And it got quite a bit of use. And the books came from our members.
Okay. Just donating books they no longer needed.
Children's books.
Okay.
Any kind of book you want to put in there, we put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it got pretty good use in the neighborhood during that time, but not what we really expected it to get.
Mm-hmm.
And then our chamber director, Slater Barr, came up and said, hey, because it was also in front of his house in the neighborhood, he said, hey, what do you think about putting it down at the farmer's market? And it's about the time that the splash pad became active. But prior to that, there had been no splash pad there where the children were coming.
Right.
And the people coming to the farmer's market could use the Little Free Library. So it was moved to the farmer's market.
So the one from the farms was moved down there? Not a
the
second
first
one?
Our first one.
Okay, was moved.
We moved it to the farmer's market.
Mm-hmm.
And then we began to see the use go up. We could not keep the books stocked because of the children from the splash pad and people coming to the farmer's market. We were having to stock it 2 or 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the members stock it, but we also have a connection with the library, McAvers Grant Library. Laura, one of the librarians, is also in our book club, and they have an abundance of books. So we are also able to use books from that to stock the library.
Okay.
And we started with the one there at the farmers market, and we saw what kind of use it was getting and how excited people were about it, and finding out in the community that we had a little free library.
Oh, okay.
And that led us to other ones.
Led you to, and so speaking of the other ones, who builds them, and how is there a process on how you determine where they're going to go? Or?
All of these are supported by our book club.
Okay.
So the first one, we looked around and we said, hey, what can we use? So the State Gazette, the local newspaper, had quit selling the local newspapers, because of social media.
Right.
So I talked to Mike Smith there, and he donated us one of the newspaper stands.
The dispensaries, yeah. Okay.
Yes. And Patty Hampton, one of the local artists, and so she painted it for us.
Oh, okay.
And that's the one that is at the farmers market.
Okay.
And it's blue, and it's got the theme of reading books on it.
Okay.
So that was our first one. After that, it became, and also at the time, there was one at Okina Park that the Kiwanis had put there. And it had been painted by Laura Kaler at the high school class.
Yeah.
And it was just put there. It was never being stocked. There was never books in it. So Vanetta Webb talked to the Kiwanis, and we began to take that one over and stock it. So that was our second one. We're up to 6 now, locally. Six
Little, and is it the correct name of the project? Is the little library or the
little free library?
Little free library
with the slogan, "Take a book, share a book."
Take a book, share a book.
So most of ours get taken. We do get some that are brought back, and other people who are cleaning out or want to donate books, they'll come by.
So it's very similar to a blessing box. We have some of those in the community where folks will donate canned food or non-perishable food or socks or things like that into a blessing box, and people that are in need can go by the blessing box and just take what they need. So it's a very similar concept to the blessing box. This just happens to be about reading. And encouraging reading too,
yes. And there's no banned books in the little free library. Any books put in are shared.
Okay.
Where was the opportunity to share non-banned books. Not that we really promote that, it's just whatever's put in. But as we all know, some libraries and school systems ban books, so they may find something to read that they wouldn't typically find to read.
Right.
A lot of the Dolly Parton book.
The Imagination Library
gets put in when they want to share those.
Okay.
You'll find out a lot of times when the children's ones. And we do ask people to mark off on the books their name and their address and put on their donation to the little free library. Not to be ugly or anything, but sometimes people go by and take the books out of them if they're not marked and resell them to booksellers or sell them on eBay. So if they're marked as a donation to little free libraries, then the booksellers won't take them from us.
That's not even something that ever crossed my mind would happen.
It happened quite a few times.
Oh my goodness!
It happens to a lot of little free libraries, not just ours in our town. It's a common problem for people doing that.
So the flip side of that would be a positive impact as well. These little libraries are having probably much more of a positive impact than they are negative. Can you think of a time, or have you heard of a story, maybe by a family or a mom or somebody following up, of how the boxes have blessed them, or how it's maybe impacted a child?
Well, we've been there filling up books, then that a lot of times you'll have a person who is coming by that will say something about the library. We have one at West Tennessee Healthcare in the lobby of the hospital.
Oh, that's a great place for it.
It is. It's hard to keep that one full sometimes, even with the staff and the nurses and the people coming donating books, because the people in the hospital, they find out it's down there, they pick up a book, they get discharged, they take the books with them. Even the guy at the front desk who was the check-in person says, "Look, I love that library, and there's no books in it right now. Bring us some books." And they keep an extra box of books, and they help stock it if they notice that the books are out. but you'll see lots of moms and a child run up while you're putting the books in, and they'll go, well, there wasn't any books in here this week, or I got so and so book, you know, and I read it.
Yeah.
You know, so there's lots of books like that, and there's a lot of people in our town that don't go to the library, so it gives them an opportunity to pick up a free
library
book.
can be a little bit intimidating.
Yes,
you know, to someone who's not an avid reader, or or maybe struggles, a library can be a little bit intimidating, but they're a great place.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're not intimidating at all in reality. They can just feel that way.
It's more these busy moms. Yes, I'm making time to take my child to the park, because we have 2 at the parks, one at Kiwanis Park and one at Okina.
Yeah.
And one at Bruce.
Right.
So they may not have time, but they can get to one of these places and get a free book. And
it also too limits the choices just a little bit. When you go to a library, there's this vast option to pick from, shelves and shelves and shelves of books to pick from. I mean, I know personally, having taken my granddaughter, to the library before, and you're a little bit impatient. You've got the next place to be, and there's so many books to pick from. You want them to hurry up and pick.
Right.
So the little libraries probably having a little bit less option to pick from.
Yeah,
so it's
anywhere from
helps the child pick a book
10
and
to 25 books in it, depending on the size and
and
who's been there before you.
Yeah.
So
well,
they are everywhere. In fact, I myself have looked at little free libraries. 2 recent ones that I've picked up books from. We were walking down the street in Key West, and there was a little free library.
Oh.
I immediately went over and said, "Oh, let me see what's in it." And I took a book. I didn't have one to share, but I took one. And they're on the cruise ships.
Really?
Yes, on a recent Alaskan cruise that we were on, they had a little free library, and I ended up taking a book there. I didn't have one to share, but I took one. So
what
and
an
they were well
amazing story!
So
what an amazing story, and such a service too. And I know you to be a woman of very strong faith, and so I know that you put yourself behind causes that you believe align with your values and your faith. And how do you see personally, how does this reward you personally in your faith to be able to serve this project?
Well, as I mentioned, the love of reading from my grandmother and the bookmobile, and supporting the library system, which is a very valuable resource to our community.
Right.
It's rewarding just to help people that, somebody is having a down day, and they pulled a book out of the little free library, and it took them away from all their problems and the stress. As you know, you and I know each other. I'm a people person.
Yep.
And just that opportunity to help somebody feel better about themselves.
Yeah. Do you ever have Bibles? Do you ever find people put Bibles in?
We have lots of books that are study guides put in, Bibles put in. Like I said, we have all kinds.
Nothing's banned.
Nothing's banned.
Nothing's banned.
Nothing's
I
banned,
think that's okay.
So.
I mean, the option is there, for whatever they're interested in reading.
To pick from.
So what? How do you determine? Maybe we discussed this already, but among the book club, do you all just work out who's going to manage the inventory of them, or does everybody just kind of on their own go? And is there a process?
No, there's kind of a process.
Okay.
Glendora Greenway was taking the books each week to all 6 of the libraries. Well, 6 is kind of a lot to handle,
right?
And she got to the point where she had to back off and say, "Hey, I need some help on this," because anybody would help.
Right.
So right now, most people take about 2 libraries and fill up the books for it.
Gotcha.
At least once a week, or as often as they think they need it.
Yeah.
And like the one at Bruce, the lady there, Jennifer, I said, "Okay, here it is. Here's the books. Call me when you need it," because she has it inside of a building. Obviously, they're stocking their own because we're not hearing from it. Sometimes at the hospital, it'll be completely stocked from the staff there. So, but we rotate among the members.
Yeah.
And when we need to buy, you ask about how do we get the libraries. 2 of them that we have were the newspaper boxes. Other ones that we have are bought from Amazon.
Okay.
And our members support those.
Okay.
They make the donations. They buy the supplies for it. They buy the flags for it. If
someone from the community wanted to support your book club's ability to place more, is the option of them donating to your book club a possibility? Would the club be open to that?
Yes, obviously we would. There's always a place for additional little free libraries around town.
What would you, just give a guesstimate, not a hard number, what would you guesstimate the cost of creating a library would be?
Less than $200.
Okay.
Around $200.
Okay, so that would get the library, get it installed, and
yes.
the club could then stock it.
Yes, and buy the flag and get it put out
right.
in an appropriate place. But
if a neighborhood wanted to have one installed in their neighborhood, do you all have to check with any like zoning? Is there, can someone just volunteer to place it in their yard and then they're the go-to place for it? Or?
Our city mayor with the city of Dyersburg is wonderful and supports the little free libraries. So anytime we want to put one in a public place where that city located, we typically ask John Holden, and he's yes, get it there. Whatever you need, just tell me, and I'll help you. So he's great at supporting that. We don't have that many in the county right now.
Oh, okay.
So putting them in the county would be a great option. Okay. There are other free libraries in the county. Okay. Lakewood, one of the ladies that was in our book club, Lakewood, decided that they wanted one. And we were going to support that, but their association decided,
their home association,
that they wanted to do their own. And if you're out of Lakewood, look at theirs, because it is a nice one. It is huge. I bet they've got 200 books in it.
Oh my! And where do you find it in Lakewood?
Right as you come into the Lakewood entrance, look over to the left,
where the entrance to the lake is. Okay.
Right there, and it's set
at the
up
pier
there.
and all. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's good to know.
And they support their own.
Okay.
There are a couple more around town, and but there's a map for the ones that are registered with the little free library. You can just go on and Google and find out where they are.
Oh, so there's a website for like nationwide. The little free library.
So if you're in and they will have a plaque on them that will say, and it will tell a registered number. Now, not all the ones around town are registered. 3 of ours are, and 3 of them are not.
Okay.
One of ours came from a project at the library, a youth project at the library, and that's a registered one, and it's at the community center. So I think I've named all 6 that we have.
Okay.
As we've spoken.
Well, good. That is amazing.
Yeah, we're always open to putting more in, and we've talked about trying to get one in New Bern because
Trimble would be a great place too.
We need somebody up there in the book club that's going to manage that one.
Need a volunteer from Trimble. Heads up, we need a volunteer from Trimble to manage. Maybe one of the churches might consider taking that on. Hopefully someone from that area will see or hear this podcast and might reach out to you.
Hopefully so. We do have a Facebook page. We don't have a lot on the Facebook page. A lot of times you will see somebody say, I'm on Dyersburg Resale or the Facebook going, I've got all these books. What am I going to do with them? And if I see it, I put it on there. I know you've done it. I know other people have said, hey, don't forget about the free libraries.
I've tagged you several times. And I've seen people with yard sales or something with books. I'll tag you and say, hey,
bring them and drop them off on my porch, and we'll get them taken care of.
That's just such a great service. Such a great service. We've talked about how listeners can get involved. And so what encouragement do you have that you want to offer to other communities that may see a need similar to this? Just how do they get started?
A lot of people in the little free library book system have them in their yards, and they support their own. Okay. So it's anywhere from an individual to a group.
That would be hard to do, to support your own. I could see there'd be power in numbers.
They do. If you go on to the little free library site and look, or on their Facebook pages, and there's, oh my gosh, some of them are beautiful. Ours are just kind of standard, the point of getting a book and reading a book.
Right.
But they put treats in it, depending on the neighborhood. They got dog treats in them for people who walk by.
When they're walking their dogs. get a
Some
book.
of them are built in themes, princess themes, and book themes. I mean, they're beautiful.
Wow.
Now, we're just basic. We got the books out there to read.
I had no idea that it was like a national thing.
Oh, yeah, it's worldwide.
Wonderful.
It is worldwide,
That
actually.
is wonderful.
So if you go to another country, there's little free libraries. And
that's fantastic.
Yes. And
that is fantastic.
And especially in these bigger neighborhoods, there's there's the little parks that the associations have. It's great for them to have them there. I mean, our son is down at Atoka and Covington, and there's 2 or 3 in their neighborhoods, but it's a huge neighborhood down there and around the park areas.
Well, my hope for the little free libraries around our area is that number one, it encourages reading.
Absolutely.
It encourages, reading to learn, but also learning to read as well. So my hope is that someone who's benefited from these little libraries by having a book to read will find the kindness that is in that service and that's in that project, and want to pay it forward in some way by either maybe donating books themselves or starting one, in adulthood. Maybe a child that's benefiting from one of the free libraries around here would want to do that someday in their college town or in their own town. And I see this project as the Proverbs 31 values speak of, which is the giving and the paying forward, and this in a sustainable way too, because this is not a project that relies on a lot of money. No. It doesn't cost a lot of money to sustain this. It really relies on the kind-heartedness and volunteerism of other people.
Volunteerism is the word.
Volunteerism of other people. And so I always close every episode of Unauthentically You, regardless of whether it's this series or not, with asking the women who are guests to share a scripture or two that's something that is meaningful to you. Doesn't have to be something that's meaningful to the little free library, but just sharing a scripture or two of something that means a lot to you, or has meant a lot to you in your faith journey.
Well, it's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And I think that pretty much says it all.
Yep. Well, and it's ideal for the little free library project too, because it wouldn't be possible without the strength of supporters and
Absolutely.
And people being willing to donate, and you have to
to use it, just to use the library,
just to use it. And I think about that too. I really think about it a lot with the blessing box, and how many people don't take advantage of these opportunities because they're ashamed to take something that's free. We're such a guarded society now, and
we all want to be self-sufficient.
We all want to be self-sufficient, and we don't want to take help when we need help. But these things are there for goodness, not for anything other than the goodness of giving. And I think it's important for people to not be ashamed at all to take advantage of these opportunities, blessing boxes, or reading free books, and they don't have to feel obligated to put one back either. It's great if you want to, but they don't have to feel obligated.
We're going to keep working to replenish them.
That's right. Right. Well, I really appreciate you and your friends at the book club.
Yes, and there's many of them I did not name. And there's many of them who've been in the book club that's turned over due to other activities they're involved in. So I want to thank everybody that's had any part in helping support the little free libraries that we have.
And that's exactly a Proverbs 31 characteristic, is always making sure that credit's given where credit's due. So
thank you.
I appreciate that. Thanks for sitting down with us and being a part of this series. I really appreciate you.
All right. You're welcome. Thanks.
Thanks for joining in today for this episode of the 31 in 31 series, a month of conversations with Proverbs 31 women here at the Authentically You Network podcast. We look forward to yet another great episode tomorrow and hope that you will join us to be inspired, encouraged, and have your faith strengthened. Have a great day and be blessed.